Hello everybody, this is Greg. I have decided to just go ahead and make a sculpture while I'm here waiting for an order. I'm actively dashing at the moment. I actually put it from now until 11:30. And so I said to myself, you know what, Greg? I said, Self, we're gonna try and make up the time and do something pretty like significant. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and make something while I listen to the radio, right? So I listen to like the Jesse Kelly show sometimes when I drive. And so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the opportunity, just go ahead and talk to my peoples, and let you guys all talk to me and stuff too. But what I should make, number one, what should I make? The first and foremost is like I can make pretty much anything, as you already know. And I've had a couple of really good experiences the last couple of days of just making stuff. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna go ahead and start making something, and you guys can tell me what you'd like for me to make. Nothing bad, of course, because don't make anything bad. But what I want to do is I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of start working on this here. So right now, I'm currently actively waiting for a dash, and so I've been driving for about an hour now, and I decided let me just go ahead and park this car and start working on this thing because you know what? There's no point wasting gas because I'm not gonna waste gas when I could be making some art and I could be focusing on that. So let me know what you think I should make. Nothing bad, of course. No politicians, right? Because politicians get under my skin. Let me tell you. For the most part, though, I just want to show. I'm gonna start working on something, so I'm gonna keep going at it until you give me an idea. So in the chat, go ahead and give me an idea what I should make in masking tape, and I'll sculpt it here while we're sitting here talking. So definitely, just whoever gets the first or second things or whatever it is, let me know in the chat, and I will start working on that. And you can talk as we do this. So please hurry, write something quick before I start making the full completion of what I'm doing, or what in my mind at least. Give me an idea. Give me an idea. So we have been like what I've been doing is that last couple of days I actually went to a couple of art museums. I went to an art gallery here in New York, and I was really happy to be able to be part of that. I got a chance to actually go ahead and start I had to put my stuff on the wall, and I did a class there, and it was great. I got a chance to work with two people, and I taught them how to do this masking tape art that I do. So for the most part, though, what happens is like I just love doing this because when I do this, it's just a fun thing for me. But definitely, but definitely let me know because I'm gonna keep making something until the pretty much until I have an order to go and do this. But right here I'm just kind of making something. So give me again in the chat, write me what you'd like for me to make because I'm heading for humanoid right now at this point. So okay. So in the meantime though, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna see if I can work on a cool person. Yeah, I'm gonna see make like a Wolverine or something because I could do that. But for the most part, though, I just want to say that I've been just kind of like just last couple of days. So I went to an art gallery and I got a chance to put some of my stuff on a wall because I was invited by the owner to come and do that, and I was just really blessed for that. So I got a chance to do that, and I was happy because you know what? It's always a cool thing when you can put your art on a wall. You can actually do that. It's kind of like I guess artists not to make it lower and like that, but you can actually be like kids. We're all like in a sense like kids. We like to have our artwork seen, like put it on the fridge, mom, that kind of thing. So. So when you get to have your art on the art gallery, it's really cool. But my thing about my art is this, right? I've come to understand that what I do with my stuff is that I like to like make it to where people can actually touch this art, and because it's all durable and you can manageable and stuff, you can actually make stuff with it. So right here I'm making so far almost like a little person, right? So what I'm doing here, I'm just kind of working the tapes and all that as well. So for the most part, though, you'll see what happens is like when you have like this day and age, you have. I'm so glad to just be able to to do it. Like I was saying before about the going to the art gallery. Then I had on Sunday, I was invited to do a birthday party, and I taught children at a birthday party, and that was really fun because you know what, I've done a lot of classes and I've taught classes before, but when you teach at a birthday party, it's a different kind of element, right? So I was really happy because when you go out there. And when you go out there and you start working with kids, you have to kind of take into account the age of the children and the mindset and everything. And when I was there, I was just like looking at the fact that these kids are like really kind of like they love it. At first, I had like my gremlins, right? And I had my gremlins with me. I have like one of my gremlins in one of these bags here because I always walk in my art. Why not? So because sometimes I get a chance to like kind of profile them and put them on stuff. But let me see. I have my couple of my gremlins. Let me take some of my stuff out here so you can see it. This one here, I had I didn't have this one, but this is one of them that I have, and this one here is like this is my murder horn gremlin, right? So this is my murder horn gremlin, and this is like one on my business card. So it's like pretty much what happens is that you have it where he's just like he's got his antenna, and he's got his like 6 arms and stuff like that. Can you see this? Okay, cool. See right there? And you have that there. So anyway, so what happens is that this is one of my creatures that I bring. And see, the way it is, right, this way it is, it's so versatile and so dynamic. Kind of the eyes, when we know about the eyes. Most people want to know about the eyes. And what happens with the eyes, I bought those at Michael's. You know, because I mean, I can make eyes, but this is something there. Anyway, long story short, what happens, like, this is like my murder hornet gremlin. So if you can see him full size, he's like this. He's got that, right? It's like this. Right, so what I'm going to do, definitely, please let me know in the chat, like, you know, that if whatever you'd like for me to make, like a creature, because right now I'm making this. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of finish this, but I'm going to just make you see him here. I'll put him on the side here so you can, like, see this little gremlin right here. Nah, I can't really put it. It's going to block the view, so I'm going to be like this. I can't do it. All right, I'll just kind of like, well, you guys want to see me or see him? I don't know. I'll put him right here. How's that? He'll be right there, looking at you. Looking at you, looking at me, looking at you. Okay, so here's that guy here, right? Anyway, so what happens is like there's an aspect where it's like, you know, my thought has been like, you know, I love to go into the gallery. I love being able to be there and to talk to the people. I love the fact that you have, you know, opportunity to meet kids and to meet parents, and we had such a lovely view. It was such a, if you look at my Instagram is One Life Must Art, right? I have a couple of pictures from there, you know, but don't leave the chat. Stay here. It's really good. So far, that's, you know, a lot of people in there, and I'm really glad for that. So stay and watching me doing live videos. So anyway, so teaching kids how to do this has been really fun, because what happens, let me just take my real quick. What happens is that you have, they are so happy with this, and adults are happy with this too. I actually do adult parties. I did an adult party yesterday. Now, we didn't get into the whole thing with the masking tape as much as I normally do, but it was like I got a chance to showcase my work, and many of them were like really kind of blown away by that. It's also on my Instagram, One Life Must Art. You can see that about all the different details there. But for the most part, though, as I was just kind of like working on stuff, I learned that this thing has to be so therapeutic. This has been one of those things where people just totally, they feel at home, and I was just really happy to see that people, as they're working on this stuff, they just kind of get into that zone where they get relaxed, you know, and I found that to be like just rewarding, because, you know, all too often adults don't get a chance to ever do any art. We're just so busy, you know. All the times we're always working on stuff. We're always working on, you know, making things, like trying to make ends meet and take care of our kids, you know. But for the most part, that when you have it, like, you know, you have a thing where you actually get a chance to do some art. That's really cool. It's very therapeutic. And they say that when we use our hands to make stuff. What ends up happening is that our body, it actually relaxes us, because our hands are designed to connect to us, and, you know, this person here has a really long torso here, so okay, so that means I gotta have really long arms to go with along the torso. So, all right, so anyway, so what happened after that was like the last couple weeks I went to this really nice art gallery in Brooklyn, right? And a friend of mine invited me there, and when we got there, it was so quiet. I'm gonna sign up for that and see how that goes, and be able to like put some of my art on the wall there. But I met some other artists that were really good, and you guys should take a look at that too. There's some really beautiful artists out there, and you can be a beautiful artist too, because you know what, you have a gift and you have a skill that you can give to the world that the world doesn't have. I mean, everybody has something that they can contribute, and everything has been, you know, every one of us has something, like some kind of a skill set that we can actually bring some kind of blessing to this world. So one of the things I was just like, so it's like, I'm not sure what to talk about, but one of the things I just want to say that, you know, I have seen that just talking to people and spending time with people has been great. And yesterday was a birthday party for an adult, and I went to another birthday party with one of my friends a couple months back in November. And the people that I was with, just sitting there, we made hands, we made mushrooms, not like mushrooms you smoke or anything like that, but mushrooms like a mushroom out of tape, you know. And yeah, and it was just really cool to be able just to see that and spend time with people. And so yeah, so this is what I do. I'm just kind of waiting for an order for a food delivery order right now. And right now you're probably wondering why I'm only using one app, because I haven't gotten like approved for the other apps as yet. So like I'm still waiting for like Uber Eats, and still waiting for like Grubhub to kind of like activate my area. So there's a thing where you have to have it active in your area before you can actually, you know, sign up for it. So I'm at that point, so I'm trying to do that. But in the meantime, I still have a connection with DoorDash, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to definitely do that, you know? So like when I did the birthday party on Sunday, it was great, because that opened the door for us, and that provided a good piece of money for us, because, you know what, we as a family, you know, we are doing what we can. Like everybody else, you know, we're all going through this together. All of us going through this, but we're all going through it separately, but together, you know? But that's why it's like, you know, when you teach somebody how to a skill about how to sculpt things, you know, it's actually pretty significant. So yeah, so it's one of those things. I just thank God for the opportunities to be able to be here and just to do that. So we're seeing how it is. I was driving for about an hour now. I had no anything. Should I make a guy or a girl? Let me know. Pretty much in the chat. I'm gonna push the chat, see if everyone can see. I see that there's no one's responding to any of the chat stuff. So please definitely write in the chat if I should make a male or female. Okay. Or I should make like some kind of like just hybrid alien creature. The one thing I like making the ones from the Predator. I like making the Predator creatures. And yeah, I don't have that many like female predators. I actually have one predator. Like it's not really a predator, but it's like they call the yautja. The proper term for them are yautja. So they're because the xenomorph and then there's the yautja. And so what happens? I'm going to probably I'll make a female yautja. Why not? Right? Make a female yautja. She's going to be pretty big because I have one at home. And whenever I go to like anywhere I present, people are always like, "Hey, that is so cool," and how much for that and stuff. But I'm telling you, I just enjoy this art, and because right now I've totally forgotten about I've forgotten about all the other stuff that is kind of in my mind right now. I'm just kind of sitting there, just kind of talking to you guys about this. And listening to. Well, I turned on the radio so I can actually be here. Do that. So I'm not too far from home actually. I just drove around for a while. I went all the way down to I live in Queens, so what happens? I drove to the area of Astoria, and Astoria is kind of an area where I did a lot of door dashing and stuff back when it was really good. Right now, what happens is like there seems to be like no opportunity whatsoever. As I'm out there doing DoorDash and trying to make some money with it, what ended up happening is there's no anything. There's really no there is no well, not for me at least. I don't understand what it is. I mean, but I'm trying. I am really trying. So that's why it's like I'm just kind of sitting here making the person right now, because I say to myself, if I don't try, then I feel as though I'm not accomplishing something. Like I'm not making it. And so, well, I might have to actually go and apply for like a regular W-2 job. But it's like that's one of the things about that. I mean, when I first started making masking tape stuff, it was I was working at the hardware store, and it was like I remember, like I would also have my coworkers and stuff, and I would ask them questions like when I found out how to do this, through the guy named Marcos Makes. By the way, if you want to subscribe to Marcos Makes' channel, Marcos Makes Dinosaurs. He's a really cool guy. But anyway, when I learned, I was working at my hardware store. I don't want to give him any credit whatsoever. But what happened was, like, as I was working with them, I had my coworkers. We were doing inventory. We were counting up the store, and I mean, long story short was that we would be we'd all go on break together, like around 2 o'clock in the morning or something, 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, and we'd be making I would sit there and I had some tape, and I used the blue tape a little bit just to make some stuff. And what ended up happening was I started to make stuff, but I said, I don't want to be like one of those things where I'm stealing the company's tape to make art. Oh, my light went out. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, my light went out. So let me see. Let me turn back down here real quick. Okay, so here it goes. This is my light. So what happens is, so I said I'm not going to steal a company's tape to make art. No. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and buy my own. So I started buying my own tape just so I could make my own tape art. And that's true. That is true, my friends. I did. Because what happens is that I said to myself, I never want to be like caught or yelled at being like, "You're stealing a company's tape to make your artwork, mister." So I said, you know what? I didn't. Anyway, so what happened was I'd ask my coworkers what to make. One of my coworkers asked me to make a negligente. And if anybody knows a Monster Hunter, that's one of the big dragons. He's got like a horn with like a bull, like a bat with horns or something like that. And he's a really cool dragon, the negligente. And so when I started working on that, I found out that, he was very complex to actually work on. Anyway. So what I did was that I actually I made it, and then back then I was giving away stuff for free, right? And it was like I was making these really complex ones, and I was just giving it away for free. And then it was just for a challenge sake. It's like, if you got one of my sculptures back in the day, when I was giving away for free, that's something there, just something to really kind of like because that was those were my first ones, my very, very first ones. They're bigger than most. They weren't as as streamlined. They weren't as detailed. So I'm making a little foot right here. So it wasn't as detailed. Wasn't as well, actually crazy detailed, but it was bigger. But I learned much more strategies than to make it better. So what ended up happening was and not only did I get better at it, but I actually learned how to make it better and streamline and last longer. So some people got the first ones right. I mean, I've heard horror stories of like when I made like the Avatar dragon, the Banshee from the Avatar. And so one of my friends told me after I gave it to them because it was a challenge, I made the Natiri and Banshee, and they said the head fell off, and so That's back in the day when I was just learning the art, like learning how to perfect it. Because before you can market it or become really good at it, you have to kind of go to your test. It's like the people who would test drive a car. So now let's go ahead and give this yautja the yautja face. Let's go ahead and do that because the yautja has that big old head, right? That big old just kind of the brain part and the dreadlocks and stuff. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and do that, right? Let's give it a shot. As you can see, it's been 15 minutes and I haven't got a single order from DoorDash, right? And it's like, no, it's not because I'm not not listening or not on the thing. I am on it. I am on it. So what happens is like, yeah, me just being here, just waiting for like a DoorDash order to open up. It's not going through. So I don't know. I mean, how does a person supposed to financially make it in this world if the stuff that you're doing is not, like for example, you're out there and you spend the time doing it. Life is precious. But for the most part, though. So here we got this right here. We got this. Good. So we got so much the body and the arms. Now we're gonna fill it up. Okay, we're gonna fill this person up, right? And how we're gonna do this? See, the thing about this, right? It's like as a matter of fact, what I'm doing, I'm not really thinking about it. I'm actually just talking to you right now because what happens is like it's muscle memory. We talked about this before, but it's muscle memory. Like I'm at the point where I don't even have to think about it. I'm just kind of sitting here. Let's see this guy just back into me. Don't back into me. My car, please let me. I thought he was gonna back into me. He didn't. Okay, cool. Praise God, he didn't run into me because that would be a bad day. Because this is my car. I love this car. This car, this is the car I got. And this is, it's our bread and butter, man. So here we go. This, right? I got this here. And so when you have the yautja, right? The yautja has the face, right? So you're looking at this, right? This. It's like, hello, how are you doing? Okay, so we're gonna make ourselves a female yautja because why not? I already have a male one. So we have the aspect of where it's like, just kind of sitting here making this, and it's like, you see this just kind of like, I just did a quick turn, and you got this already. So, you have to have the lady parts, but before we get to lady parts, let's go ahead and just kind of work on the face a little bit, shall we? So anyway, like I was talking about before, financially speaking, it's been one of those things where, we were doing like a vendor market thing. Oh, but back to the thing I was talking about, the inventory. So inventory, right? I was making them for all my coworkers on the inventory. So I made like a dragon. I made like one was like somebody asked me if I could make a cheetah. So I made a cheetah and an impala. That was really cool. Or a cheetah and a gazelle. And another one, I made a spider for him. And then I was just going through the whole like store, like asking people to, give me a challenge to make. And I was just like, all right. So now there was like, I learned that, you should, if you could do something, you really shouldn't do it for free. Not because it's like, it was my wife kind of pointed out to me, says, what, you got a good skill there and you can actually make something really quick. And so people are watching my hands and like, it's like fist of fury or fingers of fury. I don't know what it is. But for the most part, they're watching my hands and they're like, okay, this is a situation there. You can make some stuff, So, but, and so those of you who are attending, what happens is I'm just pretty much just talking about like, how I'm doing like making some art right now and just kind of doing some artwork and just doing some hands-on on the spot, artwork that people can actually see me do. So this is one of those things. So right there, she got like the head and you got the little neck and you got the body. So what happens on this is the hands. And one more thing too, right? Our body, right? Our body does not like, the legs don't come out from the bottom. It comes in from the side. So you have that little, little part of your, your private parts, right? Your body, your legs don't come out your private parts, okay? That's what I want to let you know. You got the hips. And so what your hips do is protect you. So you got to like give this person some hips. So you got to put the hips up here, right? This is where your hips at. So you got, boom, like some hips right there. See that? Hips, right? So anyway, so what has happened is I'm convinced that at some point people are going to be making masking tape stuff more, and the stock will go up, and 3M will be like, yo, how come this stock go up? And somebody will say, I saw this guy online, his name is Greg Valentine, and he was out there. He was making masking tape artwork and sculptures. And what happened was that I saw him do that, and I tried it myself, and I found out it was awesome. And then that's where the stock's going to go up, and they're going to make some crazy money because, I have some stock with 3M as well. And, pretty much, and somebody's going to, like, say, definitely, you should, like, give Greg a sponsorship because, he just uses only 3M Scotch tape art and Scotch tape. But anyway, that's just selfless trying to plug in, trying to get a sponsorship. But I don't have a sponsorship with them, but at least not yet. But, one day. So, anyway, so in the meantime, as you can see, now it's been 19 minutes. 19 minutes, my friend, of just sculpting and waiting for an order from DoorDash. So see, I've actually applied to, again, for Uber Eats, and I actually applied to Uber Eats, DoorDash. I actually applied to Roadie too as well. And so one of the things about that was like, I said, let's see what this Roadie app's about. So, when I first started, before I started doing DoorDash, I did this thing for, it was a cargo van type thing, right? One of my friends got me involved in the cargo type company, right? Where you have to kind of go and deliver medical supplies to people, right? So my wife and I went the 2 days to do it, right? We decided to just give it a shot for 2 days to see how it works. So what happened was like we had to go get up early, empty the car of the seats, get everything out of the seats of the car. Got to put paneling down so it wouldn't damage the car. And then after that we went driving, right? I had to go pick up all the supplies early in the morning. Pick up the supplies, load up the car, load it all up as much as we could because this is a minivan here. And what we did was that as we were going, right, we found out that as we were going, we were able to find out that we really didn't like that job, but we did 2 days of it, so it ended up being in Manhattan, right? And so those of you who know Manhattan, they refer to Manhattan as the city, right? The city of Manhattan is because like in Manhattan is one is hard to park, but two it's also one of those things where it's like it's really inorganic. So when you go to like you go to New York, it's like you have to find parking, and so that's why I had my wife go because with me because my wife could drive, and so it's like one of the things. So well, she could actually move the car if she needed to, but I had to go and do the diligence of taking all the stuff on on like a hand truck, right? On like a hand truck and then taken upstairs. I actually broke my hand truck on that, and I was like, I bought the hand truck way back. But anyway, so long story short, it broke because it kept on hitting the ground. And anyway, long story short, what ended up happening was this, right? I had this thing where I went there and we were doing this and we were doing delivery, and it was kind of like one of those things where you have to kind of hoist boxes up to like into the elevator. And then from there, you had to be able to go from the elevator to whatever floor that you're being asked to go to. So when I was there, I said to myself, you know what, this is kind of really hard work. I mean, and I'm not afraid of hard work. Hard work is not one of the things I'm afraid of. I mean, I worked in all these different places. When I worked in the hardware store, which should not be named, what happened when I worked there? I was a shift supervisor before, right? And then I don't know what that means. So what happens is that pretty much they have this thing where you have it where when I was working at the thing, I worked at the I worked at the hardware store, and I worked in the parking lot for like 10 months. At that point, it was like really weird that they put me there because I mean, well, it wasn't that because what happened when I went to apply for the job, all they had available was that they were positions for the parking lot. And I said I would like to work electrical department. I like to work in like, either plumbing or electrical department. And they said all we have is available is the parking lot. And I was like, I really don't want to work in the parking lot because I mean, it's a lot of labor to work in the parking lot. Not that not that I'm afraid of labor because labor is what you do. Life is about labor. Life is about working, right? So as you're working on stuff, you end up going through a scenario where like, this is a lot of work. So I was there for 10 months. They had me working in the parking lot for 10 months. Now, before that, I was a shift supervisor. I worked as a shift at another company, at a pharmaceutical company. I was a shift, and also I worked. At that point, I was a manager of many different things. I've worked as management, and I found out that I really like working on the level where you get a chance to work with people, and not necessarily when you work as a manager. I don't know, maybe that's a shortcoming for me, but I worked as a director once before, and as a director, I did a thing where I was working like in the church system as a director, and I worked as an intern before too as well. So I've done a lot of jobs, right? And so, with that in mind, when you work different jobs, you are meeting different types of people, and when you work with different people, you learn very quickly that people don't they don't take too well to instruction, and it's all a political game. But for the most part, though, when you find out that people actually will listen to you, or that you can actually go out there and make a difference, you're finding that people will, that you're not sure even the people who do listen to you, whether they not that they like you, but that you're hoping they're not going to try and sabotage you in any way, right? So here it is, like trying to sabotage you anyway, because when you really think about it, right, you are faced with humans, and humans are really complex. But anyway, what happens is like, so I did the director part. I've done the jobs I really like the best. Actually, are the jobs where I get to work, where I get to give something to somebody that they never had before, and I get to bless their life. That I've always liked that. I worked in ministry for a number of years. My family and I, we worked in ministry, and it was like we weren't able to raise enough money. But the thing about it was that we were able to do some stuff and be able to like really kind of bless people with the gospel and the good news, and we encourage people to kind of live for Jesus. We encourage them to live for Jesus. So what ended up happening was that you have this thing where as you're doing this stuff, you should begin to learn that certain stuff that we can do, that we have skill sets, you can actually change this world. Because what ended up happening is that. So here goes this. So we got a person, got like the pretty much lady parts, right? So we're gonna keep working at it and keep working on it until, let's see, we have the the right dimension. So it's almost looking like one of those people. So this is a here. Just we're still waiting for DoorDash. I haven't got anything from DoorDash yet, as you've heard. As you can see, it's like I haven't got anything from DoorDash. It's been like 24 minutes of waiting, right? It's now it's an hour and 24 minutes of waiting. It's actually more than that because I started like around 6 o'clock. So whatever the time is now at this point, I've been waiting for this many hours. I actually drove for a little bit. I actually went to Burger King. I got something to eat because I said, you know what, let me get something to eat, and it's like the $5 Whopper Junior stuff. So I got Burger King, got something to eat, and now I'm working on this person here. I might have to just kind of make her legs a little bit more like this. So see, okay, so cool. So there's that. I'm gonna give her more of the lady V shape and stuff, or hourglass shape. Depends on how much hip. I'm gonna give her some hips. How's that? Give her some more hips. How you get hips? You get like this. Just kind of add more details to the hips, right? Because she needs to be like beefy. Because they say that the female predators are actually bigger than the female yautja are bigger than the male predator, male yautjas. Because they have to have the hips to make the babies. I don't really know the details of that. Actually, I don't know the details of it. I never got into all the story stuff. I personally just liked the characters. The whole thing about when you get into the storyline behind these things that people make up, it really is kind of pointless because, not pointless, but it's less interesting to me than just the stuff you make up in your mind. Like, for example, if you really do the science of like the gremlins and stuff like that, like, see, I have my own gremlins, right? Or greglins, I call them. When I make them, they're actually one of those things where, they're not the same as the ones in the movie because the ones in the movie, they were kind of dumb. When the gremlins in the movie were dumb because in the movie too, I said this before, I'll say it again, they had this thing where they had a sunblock, right? They had this thing, a genetic sunblock, where that would protect them forever. And if they were wise, what they could have done was that as soon as they got it, they would have passed it around. Everybody would have gotten it. Everybody would have given the genetic sunblock, and they would have head for the sewers and just started multiplying. And then there would be no way to stop it. It'd be like the end all, the be all, end all for everything because there's nothing that could stop a gremlin at that point. Sunlight's the only weakness. Sunlight's the only weakness. Then you take away that weakness, then you're pretty much unstoppable. And in most movies, like, they only last for like a day. They didn't last for too long. They didn't last for too long with their scenario and their situation. So what ended up happening is like they're just like a temporary type thing where they didn't last that long. For the most part, though, I've been talking for a good minute now. So 27. You can listen to radio. You guys can listen to radio with me. Why not? Because that way you can hear the radio talking. You guys hear some Jesse Kelly speaking as well instead of me just talking and stuff. But so yeah. So this is what happens. So this is what I have. This. So you're seeing me here make this. I actually just went from not having anything to having this here. Now the yautja, they have that little mouse thing going here, little mandible things. So I got to make the mandible things on this lady. All right. So let's go ahead and just kind of I'll do the mandible stuff. Here, watch. Let me make mandibles. This is how you make mandibles for your yautja. First and foremost, you gotta make the mouth, right? You realize that it's, you gotta connect it to the face because if you don't connect it to the face, it's just gonna be floating. But you have to kind of just go ahead and give it like that because this is not the typical. I gotta make the head shape and all that because this is just a basic human face, with that like that. So you have that. Right, and so if you're watching, I'm just going to go ahead and make the mandibles much bigger. Then we're going to go ahead and really kind of go ahead and add the details of the face. Can you guys even see this, by the way? Let me know in the chat. You know what this looks like? This looks like the what's her name from the lady from You ever see John Carter? You ever seen John Carter with the Tarks, the Tarks and Tarks? I can't even say it. Where they have William Dafoe, the voice of William Dafoe playing that. And that movie was fun. I like that movie because it's it's just one of those things where as you're going through it, you just start learning that this is how it is. This is how it is. This is one of those things where you can make stuff. Oh, my light went out again. Open the door again. Here it goes. Open the door again. Just chewing up that battery, let me tell you. So anyway, here this is the mandible one. And remember, yautjas have the long head, so we got to make the head longer, right? So let's go ahead and make the head, elongate the head. Before that, let's make the mandible for the lower jaw, right? So I like to balance everything out too, so when I do stuff, it's not by itself or a thing. But see, and also one of the things, so you can actually make stuff without looking. That's one thing about masking tape that's amazing. You can actually make stuff without looking. You can really make, once you get it into your head and your hands start coming through it, or to come through your hands, that's why I don't like making politicians, because they're the negative sort. Anyway, so it goes like from the jaw, and you have to be. It's based on mathematics, the whole thing, anatomy, how you make anything. So if you can make something, you have to make it like just like how you would from the movie. Now you can actually look online and see how this goes, and you can actually do that. But when I do this without looking. I do this like to form it up, because when you form it up from your mind, you have to remember it, and it comes out a little easier. But sometimes you get come out wrong because if you don't do it right. Okay, so this is me just talking, but let me go talk some more about the things I've been through. So this a couple of days. So when I happened, I taught I made some stuff for my coworkers back in the day, and then I was making some things. Then my wife was like, Greg, what you should do, you should go ahead and get involved in like a night market, or some kind of like a vendor market where you can actually sell your artwork and art pieces and stuff. And I was like, you know what? Hey, why not? My wife always has some really good ideas about stuff. I thank God for her, and she's been a really blessing to my life. So I said, why don't we do some kind of a market, some kind of like type thing where we're gonna go ahead and just take our stuff and then go ahead and just make it into one of those opportunities and situations where we can actually provide for the family ongoing. Because everybody who has ever come across making this stuff, they say to me, I've never seen this before. They've never seen this before. To that which makes me think, like, okay, if you've never seen this before, definitely don't just look at it. Please, please, please buy something, because I do custom make work and I can do anything made to order. So for the most part, though, we have ways of being able to do this stuff, so we can actually mass produce. At one point where we were doing, my wife and kids and I, we were busy. We were so busy, we were backed up with sculptures, right? We're busy now even, but we're backed up with sculptures and we couldn't quite complete it. So here it is, like, you can see her face is coming along, right? Making a little mandible, facey looking predator thing, right? So I have to make it so it can actually long enough to it can actually make the skin part, because there's a skin that goes between. So like there's like a skin on the side, like anyway. Long story short, you'll see. So what happens is, like, I decided to go and do it, and we signed up for like one of the markets here in Queens, and it was really cool. For 2 years, we got a chance to really do some cool market stuff, right? And we got a chance to. I'm gonna make her head longer because it's like that. The yautja has the cool alien head, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring it back some. So to make something bigger, you just gotta add some tape to it, and then you gotta like flush it out. See, so the thing is, like, and so she's gonna be like, see, as you can see, it's like it's already changed up the shape of her head. Not much, not hard to do, but there is a technique to it. I mean, there's everything is a technique. I'm just like, I do this so quick because it's for me now. It's like I do this without thinking. It's like this is like my body can actually just I can talk and have a conversation while my hands are just kind of working. As a matter of fact, I can do blindfolded, but I'm not gonna do that because you'll be looking at me eyes closed, and I don't know. But anyway, but I've done it before blindfolded too. So here it goes. So you got her head, right, and you got her face. I'm gonna go ahead and add more details to it. So as you see, the longer you watch, the more you'll see. So that sounds like that movie that Now You See Me. So what happened? We did that. We had the two of the best years financially with regards to our art. Was back in 2021 and 2022. For some reason, unbeknownst to us, we're not in 2023 of last year of the market, and we were very sad about that, because what ended up happening was that kind of messed us up. So we had to kind of think of other places, had to branch out our stuff. So when we started to branch out our things, we got a chance to go meet other people, got a chance to get involved with like more art museums and different galleries and on the spot stuff and on the street stuff, and we were doing pretty good. As a matter of fact, it got to the point where, like, maybe we should try some things here and there. So we did a bunch of stuff, and we got into museums, and we got into different markets, and we got a chance to go to one of the really nice ones. Like, there's one called Hester Street. I'll tell you about that one because that was really great. Hester Street Festival, art festival for Halloween. So we had a real good time there because we got a chance to make some really cool artwork with a ton of people. And so the thing is, like, imagine this, right? Imagine you're in a situation where you're just kind of like trying to do something, right? Now, again, with the kind of art that we do, the kind of art that I'm doing here is a very different kind of art, because it's actually transferable. I can actually teach this to somebody really quickly. It's not that hard to do, but it does take technique and understanding, because you kind of train your mind to see what you're thinking, right? So here we go. I'm going to strengthen up her neck, because see right here, her neck is like really kind of like that, So I'm going to give her like strength up her neck, like yeah. Shake it, baby, shake it. So anyway, so what happens is that we're going to go ahead and add more. We're going to have more. We're going to add more meat to the neck. That way, it's like the neck is not as it's not as what's that, fragile, or I don't know what it is. But for the most part, here it is. So there's this, right. Gonna add that there. And then Let's see. So we've been at this for about 34 minutes, my friends. In 34 minutes, we have been waiting for DoorDash to come along with something. We've been waiting for some kind of order, and there hasn't been an order. So what has happened is that we've been actually making a whole sculpture right here on this spot, right here for you to see. And so those of you who have seen it, you actually seen me make like almost like a, pretty much you have the body and the shape. So now you have, I'm gonna add some more details, more lady details. So what happens is that we have this nice back right here, the back, like back by the shoulder area. So I'm gonna add like some more like a shouldery type thing. Every time you add tape, by the way, you lose like almost like a millimeter of inches every time you add, right? So you have like you just begin to lose shapes. So remember, you got to keep the proportion just right, because if it's too big on any one size, it doesn't hold right, it doesn't look right. So you have to make sure it looks good. So here it goes right here, making the musculature of the predator. And so there hasn't been any female predators in any of the movies, so there's none in the movies yet. So anything that you make as a female predator is pretty much yours. In the comic books, yeah, they have been, but there's been one female predator who was a human hybrid. Her name is Machiko, and so she was the one who became she's like a Japanese lady who rose to the ranks and became that of a predator. But for the most part, there was a part where she's like, it's like when I made my Machiko, I made her into a Comanche Indian. I was using the idea from the whole thing regarding like Prey, the movie Prey, which that was a really cool movie to watch. So actually, I made one of those. It was aliens from Prey. I made one of the first yautja to come to Earth, and that movie was fun. That was a fun movie to watch and to be part of. I didn't part of it, but I just got a chance to make some stuff. So here you go. This is what I got so far. I got making her mandibles, making the thing, making her body shape. Gonna go ahead and fix up this area right here. This area right here, where you can see, it's gonna go ahead and be more ladylike with the big old booty. So we're gonna do that. Okay, so we're gonna see how that works out. So we're gonna go ahead and just do that real quick. So I go like this. I'm gonna go from here. Can't be too big a booty because you can't be like swinging through trees with you can't pass through the turnstile because your booty's so big. So that's what happens. You have to kind of like make sure that it's not too big, my friends. But what you got to do, you got to make sure that it's like that it's a female, right? Able to have those childbearing hips. Now, I don't understand the whole thing about having the thing regarding these I think it's identification type thing, because when you think about it, right, when you have these movie monsters, you're trying to identify when you watch Star Wars or something, or even Star Trek. All the monsters are they were never like any four-legged monster thingies in Star Trek, right? They were always like upright, But the one I thought was really fun was in that movie, that movie, what do you call it? Galaxy Quest, right? Galaxy Quest. When they did Galaxy Quest movie, that movie was so fun because the aliens were like squids, and they could change their form. And that kind of answers that question, because the other time I saw like aliens that were crazy like that, where it's Babylon 5. If you ever watched Babylon 5, say so in the chat. But if you ever seen Babylon 5, the aliens were like really crazy. They weren't 4 foot or 4 feeted or 4 arm kind of thing, but it was like that kind of the ones you make you think, these kind of aliens and stuff, So you have that. But for the most part, though, when you have Babylon 5, those aliens, there was one alien had a big old eyeball on top of his head, and he had no shoulders. He was kind of like a caped eyeball, and I was like, that's pretty intense, because anyway, so I thought it was great. But so what happens is when you have Galaxy Quest, they were like squids, and they had the humanoid shape. They looked like humans. No, humans when they had their hologram projector, And so that was fun, because that was just a fun thing to see, because that's, you don't think about it, but all the aliens in Star Trek were always they always had the humanoid shapes and humanoid dimensions, so they could identify with humans. That's kind of like taking a big risk to make them something else, So when you have the aliens from the xenomorph aliens, what happened with them is you were faced with a situation where it's those aliens are so otherworldly. They're like the demons. They're so scary looking, what in the world are those things? They have long tails and other things, the little pipes coming out their back and stuff like that. And they have double jaws. They're like bugs, And then you're like, oh my word, what kind of creature? And then you have the queen alien. The queen alien was oh my goodness, the best. It was absolutely the best, because that's I don't know how did what's his name decide to make the queen alien. That in of itself was fun, because when he made that queen alien, he created something that was never there before. Anyway, so here's what we have. This is going from nothing to something big. Let's go ahead and give her some of those muscles, right? we're gonna put some more meat under her arms and some of that too. But I wanted to be able to make sure she can move her arms back and forth and all that. And this is probably one new one I'm gonna add to the table. But for the most part, though, this is so for 39 minutes, right? 39 minutes. We're going ahead and make a whole predator. Scratch ears. Okay, so we have that here. Almost done, my friends. Almost done. So here we go. We have this here, because the thing is next to the hands. And also the toes, because you know what? People got toes. They got toes. They got toes. So yeah, this is gonna be fun to have this on the table. Hopefully somebody will come along and be like, I want to buy that one. I'm like, all right. So here it is, this one. All right, cool. So you have that, right? So you have that, and that. This is the scenario there, the situation. So, so yeah. So like I was saying before, it's one of those things where as you're doing this stuff, you begin thinking about all kind of things, and as you're working on stuff, you're making these things. You're just like, you think about other things, like think about life. You think about your kids. You think about, what you can do as a person, and again, I'm still waiting for DoorDash. It's been 40 minutes and there's nothing. No DoorDash, anything. No food delivery, anything. No financial blessing, anything. Definitely, Al, I just thank you so much for watching this because, I've gotten pretty far in regards to making this. So, gonna make it up a little bit bigger for the trunk because right now her trunk up top here is really thin. So right here is really thin. So I'm gonna just kind of flush it out some more. Okay, so I'm gonna do that right here. How to do that? It's not too difficult. But what the art is, I personally like the sculpting part the best. I love it because when you're sculpting something, you are giving life to something that did not exist. And this is not a sculpting per se. This is more like 3D printing, more like you're adding to 3D space. I've said this before. You're actually just adding something that wasn't there before, and now you're gonna go ahead and just keep going with it. So here it is. Here's what I'm saying. So you have that. Here's this, and then here, right? So you have that thing going right there. And so pretty much, what time is it, by the way? I have no idea what time it is. It's like I've been at it for. Let me check my other. 8 o'clock. It is 8 o'clock, people. All right, so I've been out here. I'm just out here, waiting for the world to change. You know what I mean? Maybe it is madness. Maybe it's just sheer madness. Waiting for something to happen where you're gonna be like, okay, this is how it is. But you probably heard about that thing with the courts today, not courts, but thing with the government, and then our high officials actually started voting against us. By the Republicans and the Democrats just doing all kind of weird stuff. I don't know. They're all about in love with the other world, or the rest of the world. But when it comes to America, they just have no desire to help us as a country. So I have this thing where I keep saying to fire all the politicians. Just fire them all. Every last one of them, take their butts and fire them. Why? Because they're all together corrupt, all of them. Now, I have a hold on and say, well, some of them might be better than others, but usually that's the system is bad. It's kind of like that thing where, if you have a scenario where it's like you want to do something and you want to do the right thing, but the system won't let you, then the system has to change. You can't. People say about going inside and changing the system. I the best meme I've ever seen in my whole life was the one where they had a thing with Anakin and Padme, right? Anakin and Padme, and he was like saying, the Jedi won't let us be free, and then somebody wrote, well, why don't you just quit the Jedi Order? And I was like, up until that point, he never quit or never thought. And I said to myself, oh my goodness, that is brilliant, right? That is brilliant. Why don't he just quit? He doesn't. He's like, and she's like, well, you get to keep your lightsaber, you still have your powers, and you can still do what you can, right? You can still do what you can. You got indoctrinated into this, and you're married to a hot senator. So what in the world? You can do this like forever. You don't have to, be like a situation where you have to do something that you hate. That blew my mind. It's like, why are you doing something that you hate? You're probably asking me, why am I doing DoorDash? Because I hate it so much, right? I know I hate it. I like it. I thought it was one of those really cool things that I can be able to do and maintain and have peace with my family. But for the most part, what ended up happening was, as you're doing this thing, you find out that, they've changed the algorithm. Everything has changed now. The whole world is different. So when the whole world becomes different, now it's like you have to kind of change with the world, That's why it's like, I don't know. I say to myself, it's like, I'm going to definitely have to stop doing the DoorDash thing because right now I've been at it for about, almost 2 hours. And I'm doing this. And so here it is. The yautja is almost complete. I almost made a whole yautja. I'm just going to give her some hands now. And what happens is that, as I'm filling out all the musculature and giving her all the bones and stuff like that, you have it where the majority of people, like there's a guy I listen to, his name is Pedro Beranyu, and a couple of other guys I listen to. I've listened to the other guys for a while, but there's a lady, her name is Kim, and she's a driver. And I don't know if everybody's still doing DoorDash, those guys, because some of them, there's another guy, guy I was listening to, and Dash Trader, and the Dash Trader, and he's like pretty much. He was saying about like how he's been deactivated from the DoorDash app, and so he can't even do anything with that because and then tomorrow they're gonna have that strike, right? Tomorrow Valentine's Day. Like, hey, my name is Valentine, right? My name is Greg Valentine, and so Valentine's Day they're gonna do that strike tomorrow, so that's something in and of itself. That's significant, right? But for the most part, though, I look at this and I say to myself, man, oh man, oh, lights went on again. Door again. Okay, so, all right, so lights went on again. Okay, this is like I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I should continue, because like let me see if what the app says. Let's see, does it say anything? Does it say anything? Nope, 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 nothing. Nothing. I'm just gonna clear this out and see what happens. Nothing, my friends. Nothing. Door dashing and not getting anything. Okay, so what I have here, I'm gonna go ahead and make some hands for you to see, and then we're gonna go ahead and do that. And then from there, I'm gonna go ahead and just once I get this predator done, I'm gonna be able to start painting it. So I might just take this home and go paint it and put it up for sale because why not? Because like I get attached to everything I make. Honestly, it's like like my life. I like my life. So yeah, the thing says how on a scale of 1 to 10, how attached are you to your arms? It's like 10. It's like not anymore. So I pull his arms off. But the thing is I just sit there and I think to myself, this is an art that I can do that I can bless the world with, and I've tried to give like one art to every one of my friends. Some people have purchased it. Some people have like just they haven't, but some people are just I'm glad to be able to give this to my friends because when you do this stuff, you're able to make stuff. You can bless people with it. So yeah, so this is like becoming the predator. I'm gonna give her more of this head shape thing here, and it's almost there. So pretty much just kind of figuring it all out and give her all the muscles. You can see the muscles, right? You can actually look at this, right? Just kind of see. You can see the musculature that is like muscles, just making it work out there for you, right? So I'm gonna just add some more meat there too as well under her arms. Gonna make her more of a what's that word? I don't know. Give her more like more cell structure right here. I'm gonna give some more cell structure right here so she can actually be a fuller, right? Because right there she's kind of really thin and that's really narrow. So I'm gonna widen it out maybe by that much. So here it goes. So yeah, I'm gonna turn on the radio so you can hear some of the stuff. It's like 8 o'clock, so you might get a chance to hear some of the Jesse Kelly show or whoever it is before that. But yeah, and I think everybody who wrote something in the chat, and that means a lot to me because it's like I like to talk to other people. I don't like just talking to myself, but it's one of those things where I'm glad that I can actually just have an opportunity and be monetized on YouTube. I just made a video before, and again, that's almost an hour. Let's see if I can actually finish this before the hour is up, right? So we got like what is it, like another almost 13 minutes? Okay, that's 12 minutes. 12 minutes. Let's see if we can finish this up, right? And what I'll do, I'm gonna just speed up my intensity. Just kind of like go a little faster. I'm gonna hang on to this here and see if I can just do this much faster. Okay, gonna finish her up and then see if I can get her done before the hour is up. That way, that 1 hour I've made one predator. Right, and so we got pretty much the majority of it, right? We got the hands and you got the body. So let's go ahead and just finish her up, right? So I'm gonna finish up the hands real quick, and just watch me do this hands thing. Hands for me is one of the fun things I like to do because what happens is that when you make a hand, it's actually you have to be able to think. See, I think outside the box. I had a teacher back in school, right? It was my shop teacher. And he was the one that got me onto this thing called the mind's eye. If you ever get a chance there was a thing, I don't know where it is, but it was like on a VHS tape, right? And it was called the mind's eye, and it was so wonderful, and it was such a cool tape, and it was like about 3D animation, right? That kind of got me into 3D animation. So I had these teachers, man, that helped me with my life. They just kind of really pointed things out to me. And one of the things was that was one of the things that they pointed out to me was about the thing about computer generated imagery and computer generated like not just imagery but like computer animation, right? So when I first started up, right, I saw that, and that was in my mind forever. And I wanted to do that, but I didn't know how to do it. But the reason why I'm talking about my shop teacher was because he had this thing where he said something along the lines of, you know, what you should do is be able to. He had this thing we had to make an arrow, right? And the arrow was the first thing that I had to make out of clay, right? Out of clay. We had our clay teacher. He teaching us about how to use the kiln and how to make stuff out of clay and how to refine it and knead the clay and all that stuff. And it was great because I mean that was like a great thing. And I know many people do financial classes and stuff like that regarding like clay and this whole industry of making things with clay. But for me, I can't do the clay stuff because clay is very fragile, right? And clay takes a lot of energy, a lot of work to make, you know. So when you make something out of clay, it's not as easy or as good to kind of be mobile with it. Like for example, when I'm doing this stuff, see the stuff I have here with my art. My art's very flexible. See, I can do stuff with it. I can make it like hey, how you doing? I can make it flexible, right? I can make it like to do stuff. I can make it bend her head. Oh, I just broke her neck. Oh, I broke no. Like you can't break her neck because it's connected. But for the most part, though, when you have it like that, but you can't do that with clay. Clay is not flexible unless you have the flexible clay they have now. But that's something different, you know. Maybe I'm telling you, once I get my workshops and my gallery going and make some big plans with my family and my life and stuff like that, what's going to happen is that I'm going to see if I can get some different kind of materials to do this with, you know. And so that's the thing. That's why I'm like making this video tonight, because I'm saying to myself, I'm not going to waste a minute of my time. Just like, you know, I'm here waiting for an opportunity to show up. And it's going to happen. I was driving around for a while. I'm not going to waste gas. There's no need for that. I'm going to go ahead and use my time wisely. And the time I have wisely, because, you know, life is something you don't get back, right? So I'm going to use the time wisely to make something that could be worth a lot of money to a lot of people. Just got to just be able to do that. So here I made two hands, right? Two hands. Right? Two hands. Right? On that. I'm going to go ahead and just perfect your hands and make it like better. So it's not like just, so you know, like claws just kind of out there. But I'm gonna go ahead and make this hand just way better, you know. So I got what 9 more minutes until pretty much I've been at this for an hour. So I'm gonna just go ahead and get this completed right here, right? So pretty much I started tonight at 6 o'clock. Actually before that, but around 5 something, and I started just driving and nothing has come from it, right? But so I said, let me go ahead and take my opportunity and use this opportunity to not waste time, you know, because you know time is money. But also there's a thing where if you make a YouTube video is going to last forever. This video will be seen like 100 years from now, you know, pretty much, unless it gets like demonetized or something. But this video will be seen 100 years from now. And what it is that the temperature's dropping. It's starting to get really cold. What happens is like when it happens, somebody else will see this and they'll be inspired. So I'm going to say something. Today is the 13th, the 13th of February, 2024. And you who watch this movie, this video in the future, I want to let you know that before we became famous and, you know, our art was in the museums all around the world, all right? We wanted to let you know that this is something we had humble beginnings, making something of minimalistic value, just you know, of materials. We only use one type of material, masking tape, and we use contractor grade, and we decided to do that so we can actually make the world different, you know, do something that the world has not done. But it was like I saw this from a gentleman named Marcos Makes. He made a dinosaur, and what he did was that he covered the dinosaur, instead of it just being like a wire with that clay and an armature inside, right, with the armature wire, and then covering the armature with clay and put it in the kiln, right. I saw him do this thing where he sculpted the masking tape art. It's got masking tape art, and then he covered it with a milliput, which hardened it and became like rigid after that. So my stuff, I decided not to make it that way. I decided to keep it like flexible. And incidentally, what ended up happening was I created a whole new thing of flexible art. That it's flexible, durable art, and it's just, I mean, all I did was took what I knew and I just altered it a little bit. So if I ever had more material, right? If I had more material, what I would do is that I will take this opportunity. Oh, no, I'm saying. And so what happens, like, they want to see if I'm leaving, but no, I'm not leaving. I'm staying right here. I am trying to. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of give them. Okay, so I got 7 minutes left. 7 minutes left. Okay, so in the meantime, what have we done? We've made hands. As you can see, we've made hands, right? Now we have toes. Toes I'll make later. But I'm gonna go to finish up her body, like the aspect of the body where it's like, you know, the hips and stuff. So I'm gonna just kind of keep the camera there steady, so you can the camera, but keep them in the view so you can actually see me creating the hips better and creating like the meat right here. I'm gonna make it like a little bit bigger, right? Because she needs to be, you know, very big hipped. Okay. That's how it's supposed to be, my friends. Big hip. All right, so yeah, so I'm saying that down the road, when you remember this video, when you see this video again, and this video goes viral, and then the world knows about how, you can actually make stuff out of masking tape, and then go and change the world, and use your art and to bring awareness to something that's very vulnerable, very durable. What I need to do, I need to actually source my own stuff. I need to make my own materials. Because I mean, it's one thing to purchase masking tape. Another thing is to source your own stuff. Because if you can source your own material, that means you could like take boxes or papers or something and then turn that into. Because people do that with paper mache, and so I fall into the category of paper mache because it's like a paper art kind of thing, And so being a paper art, that's it. There, right there, right there, right there, right there, right there, right, like that. Right, hands on the hips. Hands on the hips. Okay, so. Alright, so you have that. Alright, let's see. Give her some more. Okay, make it smooth. I want to give her like a cool pose. So what's a cool pose? Like one of these, like these kind of poses where it's like that. Right? And like that kind of pose. Okay, let me fix up her hands. So it's all like together. Like this. And forward. Her hands are together and forward, right? Now, all right. And she has the typical predator pose here. So now I'm going to do is going to go finish that part up there. I'm going to give more details. Because, I mean, you have to kind of like figure out where is the parts you're going to make it flexible and parts where it's not so flexible, right? Like that. So I'm going to give her some leg muscle right there, see? That's that. But first I'm going to cover up this part here and give it more of a structure. So I got like 4 minutes left, people. 4 minutes left. So I have been here for an hour waiting. Okay, 3 more hours till 11. Thank you, Jesus. I gotta say thank God for everything that happens. Because when you go through stuff, you're just not sure how it's gonna come apart or come undone or be anything. So you just thank God for life because you're never quite sure how it's gonna go. I have a friend of mine who looks like a predator. I mean, like not like predator like bad, but predator like in a sense like they got the cool hair and they got the cool like the whole jungle aspect to them. It was really cool. Really, I like that. I like that person. That person's cool. Anyway, so what happens is like there's an aspect where it's like you have it where there is so much that can be done and so much that needs to be done, and but you just get it done. You just get stuff done. You don't stress about life so much. Just trust God for life. God will bring along people. God will bring along support and super chats and things like that. Because you know what, He knows that you're financially going through stuff, and any little dollar or nickel can help. So, but for the most part, though, just Again, please like and subscribe to my channel. Those of you who've been watching, please like and subscribe. Any subscribe or subscribers will help. My son, he does that so well. He goes up to people and he asks them to subscribe to the channel, and he won't let up until they subscribe. So I mean, that's he's got like that skill, man. See, I have to deal with my demons, deal with my demons. Anyway, so happens is this. You have this here, so you have this person here. This is a whole person. Remember, I made this out of this. You saw me do it too, but for the most part, here it goes. So I got 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. Let's give her some like more stuff there. All right, 2 more minutes. Let's see. Right now it's 58 minutes and 22 seconds of sculpting. This is what I can do in an hour, folks. Let's see what I could do in 3 days. All right, let's see. So my shop teacher, he was the one who gave me the idea about how to see things in your mind, how to be able to take a thing and see it from different angles in your mind first. Because when you do that, then you're able to actually able to shift it and see what's on the other side of it. Which that helped me out tremendously. That was one of the best things I ever learned in life, was to be able to see something from a different point of view. That has helped me out with so many things. That helped me out with my marriage. That's helped me out with my children. That's helped me out with just life in general. Helped me with dealing with people who don't agree with me, people who do agree with me, and always like there's that movie I remember, World War Z. I talked about the zombie movie. There was a guy, he said, called the 10th Man. Everybody else, you have 9 people who agree. The 10th man has to find something wrong with it. Now I don't know. I mean, there's people say all kind of stuff, But one of the things I thought was really good about that movie was that very thought was, you got to look and find the other point of view to something, you know. Now I've grown up and I've dealt with so many people fighting with them in life about stuff, but I found that sometimes to see from another person's point of view is a superpower. To be able to see and hear and understand what people are talking about. Like I was talking to the guy last night about superpowers. I told him my superpowers are people like to just sit down and tell me all their life. Like I have people come to me and just start telling me their whole life story. They just start unloading their whole life and all the stuff they've been through, right? Just start unloading. And so with that, I just learned a lot of things about them, you know, and because people like to talk about themselves. Let me tell you. Anyway, so 1 hour. I've actually did the 1 hour mark. I've been at this for 1 hour. I made an entire sculpture in 1 hour. Do you see this? Do you see this, folks? 1 hour making stuff on the computer. Well, on computer, but I made stuff in life for you to see. All right, so I made a yautja female. Right. So not to be beaten. Let's see. Go ahead. Let's see. I'm going to add some more details to her, but it is 1 hour. It's 1 hour. So I have been waiting for 1 hour for DoorDash to show its ugly face, and it hasn't. And as you can see, I'm not just sitting here, you know, just not. I'm actually waiting for an order. And you know, you can't do that. You just can't do that to a person. We make a person wait forever for something. Yeah, it's like hoping for something that just doesn't come. You know, and that's the sad part because you know you're really trying to do this thing. You want to take care of your family and you want to be a good person and provide to the community, but then you have it where you're being denied. So yep, so that's like I think every 10 minutes or so the lights will cut off. I'm draining my battery doing this, by the way. So yeah, so here we go. This is like the female yautja. I'm gonna give her those cool like collarbones, you know, let you know that she's like a lady. All right, so I'm gonna give her like a little bit more of a shoulder things right there, shoulder things right here. All right, and then I'm gonna go ahead and give her those cool lady collarbones, that identifying factor of a lady. Collarbones are hips or bone structures. So here goes this right here. So here she goes, right there. Alright, so there's this, there's that, there's this, there's that. Alright, this is that. Alright, so here's the face. And I'm going to go ahead and work on the face. I'm just going to keep going, okay? Because I mean, what's the point? I figured this so long would be in an hour. I'm going to keep going. So I have it till 11 o'clock to dash. So, folks, I'm just going to keep working on this one till it like pretty much is done. So, first and foremost, when you're working on a predator person, you have to have the predator person's face. So here you go. It's got that little hip right there, a little hip and a bendy leg. That, my friend, is cool. Right, it's cool, a lot of fun. Okay, so I was gonna do this, right? I'm gonna go ahead and add some more details. See, like this is how much tape I got left, right? With that much tape, I'm gonna see if I can add like the bridge. They have no nose. Predator has no nose, but it has the mandibles. The mandibles come like this, so it has no nose. It has a top lip, so it's like a top lip, right? And it has the thing. Anyway, so but since she's a lady, you gotta make her more pretty. You gotta put some lipstick on them. Blade. So rip this in half again, make it smaller. Folks, I have to tell you, it's like again, I am happy to do this. I'm happy to make art, and art is one of the things I just love and enjoy making because you know when you make art, you make people happy, and people love to see that you can do it. And it's not a computer doing this. It's not AI art. You know, this isn't AI art, and this is what makes it like makes all art valuable because again, it's all one of a kind type things that you know. I mean, if you can mass produce stuff, which you can, once you make a mold, you make the mold over and over, you can do different things. But once you mass produce something, it's like the individual aspect of each piece becomes significantly less, you know. So what I'll do, I'm gonna make yarn for her hair too. I'm gonna use yarn for her hair. Actually, you have this one here, so you got that. There's her face there, right? And we're gonna go ahead and just kind of work on her bottom jaw because her bottom jaw has to do one of these kind of things where you just kind of close up here, right? You have this top jaw here like this, and you have the bottom jaw have to kind of go up like this, right? So yeah, like that. Because I mean that's just. Then I'm gonna make a mask for her too as well, but I'm not gonna do that at the moment because I'm just gonna work on her because you know I can make the armor. Armor's not hard to make for me, but What is difficult is just getting the right textures and the right facial expressions. Because then what happens when you make this one? You got to do that. You got to make the face. Then you got to add the details of the make the skin connected to the face, right? So you have to make her face. You have to make her face just really good one way. And you have to make it good another way, right? See, and it's like that. It's like, I mean, this is not hard to do. I mean, I can make people, making people is not hard to make. It's like, but making exactly. So I tried to make it exactly, because if you don't get it right, you're wrong, kind of thing. So here's that. So you got a top lip, top jaw, right? So you have that, like that. So you have like this right there, and then you're gonna have the thing with the eyes. The eyes have a thing where, the eyes actually pop back out. So let me turn the radio real quick. Let me see. Let me turn the radio. Let this thing charge up.
Good thing, but your life is going to be one of frustration as you watch so much of the GOP behind you.
Yeah,
the truth is,
I know. I can't listen to it. I'm sorry, I can't listen to the Jesse Kelly show right now. I mean, every time I listen to it, it gets me all worked up, because what happens is, like, I like him. I think Jesse Kelly's a wonderful person. I just think about sometimes one of the things about life is that it just people just news is about riling you up. You know what I mean? It's not about, like, solving problems. It's all really about, like, riling you up and making you into something that you're not. See, praise God, the temperature's not that cold, because it's like I'm able to, like, do this, and I'm really happy for this. This is coming out really nicely, actually. So, but the thing is, like, when I make this now and I put it on a table for sale, it's gonna be like, oh, I remember when I made this one. I was making this when I was talking on a live chat for like an hour and 5 minutes. Yeah. So here's that. Here's her mouth, right, and her jaw, right, and then just gonna have like the thing where it kind of like either bends outward a little bit, because like it's supposed to be, and you're gonna connect the two together, because the mouth has to do that thing. So it's not just like out in the open. It has to be connected, and that's why her head has to be able to support the weight of her body and be in proportion. If your head is too big on your body, then it's like, you look really kind of ill proportioned, So maybe I should listen to the thing. It gets me riled up, but it's like, but at least I get a chance to hear something. So I'm gonna put it on for a second or two and let you know what you think. So here it goes.
Spend all your money to take down the Nazi war machine.
Maybe. Goodness. Anyway, so here's that. That does that. Hey, I wonder what this plus button does. What does this plus button do? Let me see. I'm looking at my stuff real quick. What does this plus button do? What is that? Start a poll. Ooh, I can do a start a poll. What's that? Start a poll. Can I do that? Is that possible? What does start a poll do? Let's see. Ask your community a question. Let's see. I can ask the question. Let's see. Ask the community a question. Which is, let's see. Let's see. Did you like Aliens versus Predator? Okay, let's see how that works out. Alien versus Predator. Let's see. Start poll. How that works out. All right, that's one. Okay, do you like Alien versus Predator? What else I could do? What does the button do? Save highlights, share, mute microphone, save highlights. Oh, I can do a save highlight type thing? Oh, that's pretty cool. Man, there's stuff you can do on this one. I didn't know about that. Okay, what happens is mute microphone. I don't do that. Let's see, back to another poll. Start poll. Let's see. Oh, there's already ongoing poll, so I can't do that again. Okay, so votes. All right, so see how that goes. Let me put this back here. All right, so right now I'm in my car and I have this thing that holds my phone. So right here you have a lady predator, right? Gonna give her more of a lady parts, but yeah, so she's bendable. She's bendable at her hips, at her waist. She can even turn a little bit, right? Because that's how it is. But yeah, so this is the parts there and that. I'm gonna go ahead and give her some more lady details, and that stuff. Okay, so here goes that. Okay, cool. Gonna go ahead and give her like the cool more meat and potatoes right there. I'm gonna give her some more mass around her sides, okay? Because why not? So here goes. Let's see. So yeah, so right now I'm doing an ongoing poll. See how that goes out. Let's see if anybody can respond to that. All right, I'm gonna give her more of a stronger neck. Let's see how that works out too. Wrap. When I teach a class, by the way, I have more stuff that I actually do. I teach a lot more things regarding art. The techniques that I use to make the tape much. You know what's interesting too? Let me tell you something real quick. What's interesting is that when you're trying to teach people stuff like this, for example, you actually learn a lot about yourself and what you're capable of doing. You don't really know what you're capable of doing until you start doing it, right? Because the way it works is this, right? The way it is, You don't know what you don't know. One of my coworkers at my law firm I used to work at said that to me. He says you don't know what you don't know. That's why he doesn't like homeschool, because he feels as though like him not knowing how to homeschool is him not doing, oh, you know what I'm saying. So it was like one of those things he said that, and it stayed with me. Like, you don't know what you don't know. But there's an aspect where, you know what, they say all throughout history people have been homeschooling their children like forever, right? So they've been teaching their kids everything. So all the people who got to this point in history, they had parents who taught them stuff, and they had, they didn't listen and things like that. And they had their things where they were like, they didn't pay attention, right? But what ended up happening was like, later in life they came along and said, you know what, I'm paying attention. I understand what my mom and dad said, and then so they start like really kind of getting the hang of it. They start like really, getting pretty like significant with it. They understand that this is one of those things that mom and dad said something, I didn't care about it before when I was younger, but now I understand it better. But they were trained by their parents. I mean, just think about that. What school system does to kids nowadays. You have it where the parents don't know who their kids are. The parents, the kids go to school and they come back, they're strangers. They are straight up strangers when they come home. So you have the scenario, man. It's getting cold in this car. I'm gonna have to turn on some heat, right, and see what happens. I see that. See, this is crazy, right? You see that how I've been waiting so long, and there's nothing. There is absolutely nothing. So I said, let me go ahead and make an entire creature, right? An entire creature here, right? So you have that. This is something that just you saw when I was just starting to make it. If you rewind the tape, you can actually see from the beginning when I made this. Here, that. So this is her face. You can see I made a little part of the mouth that's like the little lip part inside there. Now I'm gonna make the little mandible covers, because on the side of the predator you have the mandible covers, like the flap of skin that keeps their mouth like together. Because when they close their mouth, it's supposed to be like this. Their mouth closes up, their bottom jaw goes in, and you have the thing with the mouth and it closes like that. So you have the whole mouth and all that together. So yeah, so you have to be able to create the mouth and the head in the right proportions and all that different stuff too. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and seal that up. All right, so here's how we do this. Yep. I'm gonna put the Jesse Killer shit back on. Why not?
Numbers mean
I can't, because every time I turn on the phone, turn on the thing, it's always something about something that's gonna like make me lose like my monetization or something, or make me lose, views or ability for it to be shared or this thing to be monetized. So what I'm gonna do is just simply like just not listen to it. How's that? I'm not gonna listen to it. I'm just gonna go ahead and just finish up my lady predator. My lady predator right there. So there it is with her mouth. There's there with her lips. Here's her jaw. Right, and it goes. They're just gonna open up her mouth like that. Right, so there's this. They're gonna go the other side now. Well, I want to thank my audience for those who watched this far. Those of you who watched this far and got to this part, you got to see the whole procedure of how it happened. So that in of itself is worth a lot to me. So that's great. The next part is like, I'm just like I've been just kind of running a test to see what happens, how long does it take for an order to come through, and there have been any. There has been no orders whatsoever. So I gotta go check and see if I'm even still logged in. So I'm gonna do that real quick. I'm gonna just kind of like move the camera real quick and see if I'm still logged in. Yep. What's this? What does it say? See, yep, I'm still dashing. See that? It says I'm still dashing. I'm still dashing. Isn't that crazy? For an hour. It says even he has the audacity to even tell me I've been dashing for an hour and say so. My friends, I want to let you know this, that I believed in the system. I really did. I believe the system would be, can be understood and changeable, and what I've come to understand is that, like I said before, you can't change the system. The system's going to do what the system does, and it's going to protect itself. It's like the bees. Even the bees throw the queens out when they decide time's up. So even the queen isn't safe. When it times for another queen, I don't remember how they did it. There was something that talked about that when the queen is no longer, the hive gets rid of her, and send her out to die. So I don't know, but she survives the winter, so I don't even know. So that's one of those things. Don't know, really don't know. Okay, so here we have this. So here we got this jaw. Got this jaw. Right? And the scary female predator. It takes a while, honestly. It takes a while to make these things happen. So there's this one, this is the jaw here. There's one jaw. There's the top lip thing here. Right? So you have that. So You guys should really kind of see it. You see how it is, but yeah, there it is. Okay, now they have the eye sockets. Her eyes are kind of like, underneath the hood. It's kind of like, the eyes are this, So she needs to have like an eyebrow. So I'm gonna give her like an eyebrow real quick. Eyebrows and dark eyes to hide all that rage. Okay, so hide all that rage. And so yeah, gonna make the eyebrows. So let's go do that real quick because it's got to be able to do that and go into here. And have it dip and tilt. See the stuff here. This, my friend, is where the big money is. Let me tell you, because the big money comes in when you're actually able to make the art, and you do this like with the art, and you make the opportunity to do stuff. So when you do that, it's like this is where, because it's a unique skill to be able to do this thing I'm about to do right here. This here, my friends, is where you make the big money. It's the big money. All the finances come from these things. This little detail, see right here. See right there, you see that little detail? It's just make sure I get it right. This, my friend, and you wouldn't even know it, but it's a detail that's very significant. Okay, so when you look at it, you see you have their face right there. You got her face right there. And she's gonna have that forehead, and they have that big butt forehead. They have these, what do you call it? These predators have that big old like half moon. Part of their forehead is one way, the other half of their forehead is the other way. So you have like that. So I'm just gonna finish up the bottom part of her forehead, which kind of goes into the top part of her lip. Just so you can see like how it goes like that. See like that right there. So you have that. So it's been an hour and 15 minutes, folks. An hour and 15 minutes. Oh look, snowplow. Is there gonna be another snowstorm? You guys know? Is there gonna be another snowstorm? I don't know. Just I hope. I don't know if I hope. I hate snow. I hate snow more than anything. Well, I mean, I used to like when I was a kid, but I hate it because now I'm an adult. Snow's not so much fun. Snow is a death hazard in all kind of ways. It's death hazard when you drive. Death hazard when you have to shovel snow. Yeah, poor lady that happened that late today. She got hit down by a brick. Part of a building fell down, and it caused her to be unalive. Poor lady. She didn't it didn't happen like right then and there, but it happened like it felt like she wanted to go shovel snow, like demanded by the city, and then she's doing her civic duty, right, of like making sure that her human duty of making sure that it's shoveling snow. And I wondered like why this poor lady had to go shovel snow herself, and she's like what 75 years old or whatever, had to go shovel snow, and so she's doing that, right? And when she went out to do that, pieces of the wall fell down upon her head. The building collapsed. But then I don't know what is it? Is it the city has to crack down more on people? Is it that the person didn't do so well? The fact that she's actually shoveling her own snow? What is that? I can't can't speak against the dead or the wounded. But what I can say is like there's an aspect where it's like there's something going on there that kind of really messed up, and because of that it cost her life. So I don't know. It's one of those things you think about. That okay, you're trying to save some money, but then you end up, losing out on everything, and that's pretty scary if you ask me. That you go out there, you're trying to save some money, trying to do some things, and then you end up like losing, because you hire help or ask somebody else to do it, or maybe she had nobody else to do it. I'm not going anywhere, and then so here you have it. I'm still dashing. Okay, so here goes. There's a face. It's like this. Yeah, it looks kind of crazy. Like this. Yeah, I gotta just fix it up real quick. Yeah, sometimes it might actually pay to have a reference. But anyway, so it's like this. The mouth is like that, and they have the teeth, a little couple of teeth in the front because they have no nose. There is no nose. So there's that right there, no nose. Why I said that because I have a video where I do this thing where I put like my mouse, a mouse that I made, and so it's cheese, and the cheese came to attack the cheese, and I put it in the mouse trap, and it's like the trap has been loose, And so it made my daughters laugh. I saw that. One of my daughters saw that and she started laughing. Tell you, the best thing in the world, man, is make your kids laugh. Okay, if you can do that, you have skills. Because the kids are so critical. Oh my goodness, kids can be critical. But when you make them laugh, they're so not critical anymore. My friends, I don't know what to do. I am really just at my wit's end regarding this stuff, and I'm happy and sad at the same time. I'm happy for the ability to make stuff, and I'm happy for the freedom. But folks, I just can't afford to just run the car the whole time and get nothing. So I definitely have to just start doing something else, and I'm gonna be probably have to just delete the DoorDash app and just start somewhere else. Just say enough, forget it, forsake it, leave it. Because I mean, you can only do something for so long, and when it doesn't work, you really have to kind of just really reevaluate your situation. And I'm at that point now. I'm just reevaluating my situation, you know. And my family deserves more and deserves better. You know, I'm a really good artist, praise God. But at the end of the day, it's like if you can't, you know, make the bills, you gotta do something else. And so that's kind of where I'm at right now. So that's why I'm kind of just out there telling you this. And this might be my I don't know, where I don't want to make no kind of ultimatums or statements, but it's just one of those things where it's like, you know, there's no reason to make any more videos about things not working, you know. So I might just have to end up just stopping and again just focusing on other things. But you know, again, I'm glad I actually have a platform I can actually just present and talk about stuff. But again, I need to get more subscribers. If you definitely would like to subscribe to my channel, please do that. You know, that helps us out a lot. And then also, you know, if you want to buy one of our arts, I actually created a new a thing called a jot form, and you can actually put a request in for any kind of art that you want to get, and I can make it for you and I can ship it to you. I can't really ship outside the country though, because you know it's one of those things where, you know, it gets more expensive, and but definitely one of those things where I just definitely, if you think about us for like birthday parties and stuff, that's something that's really significant and wonderful. But you know, again, I just want to, I want to come to an end with this real soon, because I'm starting to freeze in the car and I want to turn the car on again, because I actually got a real good spot not too far from my house, and it's really hard to get parking spots here, especially when they're doing like construction everywhere. So they're doing construction and they're just tearing up the neighborhoods and they're putting city bikes everywhere. So you know, that's one of those things, like, you know, you just, what do, you know? So you try and vote for what's right, and then you have the government do whatever it wants to do. All right. So you're at the mercy of a government that was made to help the people. So that's kind of the situation how it is. The things that you make eventually becomes things that, you know, they don't really help you out too much, you know. So I don't know. What do you do? What do you do? All right, so we got that there. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and just finish up the parts here. Solve this up here, and then, you know, this right here, this right here, this right here. Okay, this. All right, so this and this. There's a poll going on right now. Definitely, if you want to vote in the poll, did you like the movie Alien versus Predator? I personally liked that. I thought it was a great movie. But for the most part, though, if you didn't like it, just say that you didn't like it. But you know, that's something there. So you have that. All right. So you have the bottom jaw. I'm gonna make her bottom blades like really high, kind of almost straight up, because what happens when I make the mask has to fit all the stuff into her face to make that mask. So 1 hour 22 minutes to make this predator lady. Right. So this right here. What was that? I just got like some kind of notification. What was that? What was that? What was the notification? Still dashing? Yes, I am. Okay, well, there's nothing there. No notifications. That Brumble. Yep. Okay, so there's nothing. There's still nothing. So anyway, so here you have it. This is what I have. And this is the thing, is like, see, the thing about YouTube is that you get a chance to get monetized and get money for your work that you do. If you put stuff on Instagram, it's just fun, people watch it, but that's, you know, you don't get as much view or even a chance to make money unless you have some kind of Instagram account. But that makes money. I have Instagram and it doesn't do that. It doesn't make the money for me. It's just like I have a lot of viewers and stuff. I'm trying to get more I have like more viewers. The most viewers I have on anything is on my Flat Earth channel. I have a Flat Earth channel. My Flat Earth Facebook page, and that has helped. That's been like really cool. But again, there's no money there. So what we got here is this so far, right? All right, so here, and it got her face and her mouth and her predator face and mouth. I'm gonna have to. I think there's something on top, like a little bit of a, like, I don't know. It kind of. I know there's something. I just can't remember what it is right now. There's something to her face. There. And then they have the big butt forehead, so I'm gonna make the twin cones on top of their head. So there's that. So I see, I'm running low on tape. It's really cold in this car. Okay, so all right, so they have the high rise. They got the high rise parts in the head. Like one part is there, right? And then the other part is another high rise, like a high ridge on top there. So it kind of rises from their forehead. Because what happens is like it's a typical alien shape, the one from the Greys kind of thing. The Greys, like for example, Independence Day, right? The Independence Day aliens were kind of like the Greys, and they have this thing where it's like you can actually make like a really cool structure. And then so it's like one of those things where you have that there, right? You have the little top ridges on top of the head, and then the hair. The thing I haven't put the hair in there, but I mean I could put the hair, but the majority of that is like where you have the hair and the right there, like that. So we're gonna make the little ridges on top of her head. So you have that there. Right? So you have the thing like that. Because you know how the big old like double cranium thingy where it's like two halves of the brain and on top of it is like that little stylus type thing. So like the alien queen, the queen alien, and also the harvester queen from Independence Day. Her ship is like that, where you have her head is like the same thing too, a big old like dome chrome thing. Because they have the thing they talked about like the crystal skull, the whole crystal skull thing like from Indiana Jones. They have it where it's like the design is that of some kind of thing where it's like their face is it's like just show that they have big brains, big brains. What happens when you get hunted by a big brain creature? That's just kind of really scary when you think about it. Big brain creature trying to get you. Just, it's scary. I tell you, it's scary. See, so that's the thing. So after you spend like a good piece of time with any of your art, right? It's like you're making like a cake, like a birthday cake, and then or you're making a meal. Like when you make a meal for yourself, you can share that with some people, But it's like, but then you make it for you. You make it. I don't know. This logic of mine. I guess I work on it. I have certain things I talk about. It's just I don't know. But anyway, so I guess it's the Greg show, talking about Greg stuff, and just trying to get people to to watch my art. So one day I'll be in a gallery and sitting there in a gallery making stuff for people to come by and get it. And, but not just me, my family too. You know, all together making art so that we can just go on a cruise or pay for those bills and make the world a better place. You know. So I don't know. I just think about that. Like, I mean, Homeboy made a car. Elon Musk made a car, right? A Tesla car. And I wonder what the details on that is. Like all the details. People always talk about like the labors and stuff that people go through and the children and everything like that. But it's like when you really think about it, it's like like honestly, what is the details? Like how do you make anything without at the expense of something else or somebody else or some other scenario? You really can't you can't not do something without somebody else having to work. I mean, I guess it's like the value system of it all. We have the values and people are out there trying to make it. So like example of this, right? You have our cell phones that we have. Like I don't have I have an Android phone. So I always feel as though Android phone is better than the Apple phone. But then I mean there's other parts to stuff, like not everything is like black and white in terms of like you're gonna make this thing and then people are gonna be like, hey, you're there's no materials that doesn't harm a person or another country somewhere. Like I mean, yeah, they talk about like the whole carbon stuff, and they say about how this things. And I don't believe in the whole climate change thing. I really don't. But my thought is that is like I think the climate changes happens every day, but that's just me in my opinion. Because what happens is like they're really pushing stuff for people to kind of like get along with or keep going with and all that. See, so here's her face, you know and they keep doing stuff to try and make it so we have to really really kind of go along with it, and do what they're saying. But then what is going to happen is that they're going to tax us more. It's not going to change a thing. I mean, I guess the science of it all is that if you force people to do something, which that's what government does, by the way. Government's all about force. Government's not eloquence, it's not friendliness, it's not your best friend. Government is force. And these people who are working force, they're all about like making things to make people's lives less fun and more less free. Their job is to make you less free, you know that? It's just make you less free. So what happens is that they go out of their way to make you less free. And so when you are doing these things, you're just trying to live and trying to be a normal person, but they're trying to control you, and that's what government's about. So every time we give the government any more rights or any more power, which is what the Constitution was made for, to limit the rights of government, not people, government, right? The only time the government would step in is when there's a crime happening that you're supposed to trust the government to protect you from. That's where it's supposed to be. What ends up happening is the government, they want their powers to go unquestioned and unstoppable, you know? Just keep at it and just keep growing. But the most part though is that the actual fact is government is too powerful for itself. And the better, the smaller the government, the better, which is the only country in the world that has this aspect where the government can be limited to this faction. And they want to stifle that out of all of us. I'm going to make her top mandibles a lot longer because, oh my goodness, she's coming out really nicely. She's actually coming out way better. So this is like an hour and 30 minutes in. And I got this really beautiful predator lady. I'm going to like work on her body more, make it more like a thing. And then see, I got the dread parts. I'm gonna add the dreads because I gotta put the pieces here. See this right here? Look at this. You see? Do you see her face? You see her face? You can actually see the contours and the details of her face, right? All masking tape, people. All masking tape, right? So you have that. And this is with me not looking at any references. Okay, this is me not looking at any references. You have this. Do you see what I'm saying? You see how nice it is? Okay, so you have that. Make her lower jaw. Gonna make sure that the mouth top part here stays so it doesn't get like damaged. So you have to be able to tear the tape. And I do this all on camera too, by the way. I'm not doing this. This is not a 3D thing, a 3D produced thing. This is my hands connected to my body. This is where it's like, you know, is it better running low? That's what happened. Why did we connect? That was weird. Battery's at 42%. Okay, so, all right, well, it's still going on. So here we have this. This is this here, and I am just working on this thing here. As you can see, it's been going on. All right, I'm gonna have to stop at some point, but this is like so good. It's actually really good. It's actually the best one I've made in a long time. She actually looks really cool. See her face? Do you see her face? You see her face? You see her face? Oh, you see her face? Okay. All right, well. You see, I'm telling you, it's coming out really nicely. Then when I paint this thing, when I paint her, she's gonna be like so beautiful. Hey, make her pink, right? Pink predator. More like brown and gold. There's probably like a whole story behind them, and I don't really care to learn it because why need to learn something else? Just make your creature and then make your whatever story you want. How's that? How's that? How you like them apples? Okay, so I'm gonna give her more of the lady parts. You know, I said I feel like a little pressure in my mouth, like pressure in my heart, my just my mind when I said that. It's like why do I have to feel as though there's a pressure? I mean, I can make whatever I want. I mean, like, you know, God made us, right? All the parts that we're made, that we have, is made by the Most High, and God made our parts, you know. And the thing about it is like it's a beautiful thing, all our body, right? So when you make something copying the beauty of God's creation, you know, it's one of those things where you start saying, hold up. You can't be ashamed or afraid or anything like that. You gotta be totally chill and cool, because you know what happens. It's like you're not making like an ugly thing. You have something that angels don't have. You know, something that like angels can't do. They can't make babies. I mean, those that did in the Bible, what they end up doing, making giants, but they got in trouble for that. But for the most part, though, we have something. We have the ability to reproduce. Okay, we can actually make people, make smaller versions of ourselves. Carry on legacies and generations. You know, we can actually keep going and make people, and from I don't know. I'm just rambling now. I'm just talking, but I'm just saying like pretty much we have the aspect where see her muscle arms, arm muscles, like boom. We said arm muscle. Look at them guns. Look at them guns. All right, so that the arm muscles. Just, what is those millimeter arms? So lady arms. What? Look at that. Look at that definition. Look at that definition. Oh, definition of the arms. Right? Look at that. to the other arm. Got to work on the other arm. See, the other arm needs some definition. So, gotta add that up. Right. The goal is to keep it mobile. Okay. You want to be able to keep it like flexible. So you have to be able to put it like how our body fits together. If you don't put it like how our body fits together, what ends up happening is that you don't make an actual person. You make like a statue. And these aren't statues, my friends. These are not statues. These are movable, flexible, durable, masking tape artwork, right? That's actually like I'm doing a in-sky 3D printing type thing. I can't believe I've been able to talk for so long. That's great. An hour and 34 minutes. The sad part is like, really, just really that, honestly, that, hey, what can you do? Definitely, if you see this, and you hear this, please like and subscribe to my channel. If whenever you see this, whenever you watch this show, and watch me put together this Predator lady, that pretty much definitely please like and subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get up to I want to get to 100,000 subscribers, and I'm doing the best I can to do that. I just don't know what next to do. I'm just kind of running ideas, so I'm just gonna keep at it. So here's the lady predator. I give her more of a chest, because if you don't give her more of a chest, then she's like, she kind of look like a male predator. So I'm gonna give her more of a chest, more of the lady lumps, 1 hour and 35 minutes. Do you see this? You see this? Do you see this? I hope you see this. Okay. When I get done making the lady lumps, I'm gonna probably like just go ahead and I might just end the chat or the thing. I don't make any promises because I'm really kind of into this right now. This is actually really just interesting to do. And if I go home empty-handed, I mean, my family, we are still struggling. So definitely, if you guys can like, send a little super chat down there or anything like that, that would be great too. What can I do? Anyway, so like I was talking before, I've been waiting for 1 hour and 36 minutes for DoorDash. I've been doing a DoorDash order, and I have no orders tonight at all. This is a 0 order night again, 0 orders, and it's like I'm gonna be here. I'm hanging on there for as long as I can. But for the most part, though, it's one of those things that as you are doing these things, you start learning that. As you start doing, you start learning that that the algorithm is not in your favor, unfortunately. Here's like this, for example. Okay, like this. I'm gonna go ahead and continue to give her more of the definition. This is so much fun to do. I kid you not. I enjoy making like people. I enjoy making the predator. I enjoy making the female predator. Because why? Because one, it's like I'm making this so out of my hands, and no one can really stop you from making it. You can make a Mickey Mouse. You can make a different sculpture, different structures, but no one can really stop you from doing these things. Why? Because when you do it, you're making it from your own mindset. You don't make it from your own hands and your body. And this is something useful, like you can do down the road, especially for kids. Kids love when you make their toys. You can make any kind of toys. That was one of the things I found out really cool. I just that you can make. When I started making Legos and stuff, I learned that Legos is such a wonderful type of art. But for the most part, though, it's like I don't know. I'm almost done here. So it's art that's rigid, but you can actually do some really cool stuff with it. So. Yep, there you have it. That's all she needs now is some hair. She needs her weapons and stuff like that. And then pretty much just all the stuff that makes her. I could actually give her more hips. I might just do that. Just fill up her hips some more, so she's actually really like a robust female. Like like my wife. Like my wife is. My wife is really my wife has a beautiful hourglass shape. You wouldn't know that, but it really, she has a swimmer's body. My wife is awesome. And I love my wife. She's been my friend for like ever. As a matter of fact, when you get into a relationship with somebody, you better be best friends with them, because you're gonna go through a lot of stuff, my friend. You're gonna go through a lot of stuff. It's called life, and you need to have a wingman that's awesome. And I just pretty much just know that when you have somebody there to witness you. Witness me! It's very wonderful, because you're not alone. You're not alone. See, the cool thing about this too, when I'm looking at it, I can see what I see with my eyes is different from what I see on the camera. So I can actually see my progress on the camera, right? And I can actually see the progress on the camera as I'm working on making this thing like really cool. Making this thing. So I'm just like, I can see it, but it looks differently in the camera than what I see in my eyes. So I have to kind of look back and forth through the camera and then over there to see if I can get like a balance. Because sometimes you make something and the proportions are not right, or you make something and it's just not what you thought it would be. So here's like, you know. hmm I have some other art I gotta do. I got some people that I've been waiting, finishing up and stuff like that. I gotta get to them. I gotta go home and do that. So 1 hour and 39 minutes. Man, another 20 minutes and I'll be 2 hours doing this. This would be like, wow, right? And 2 hours waiting for DoorDash to give me one order. Watch TD Media Group in 30 minutes. Okay. Alright. See, so I'm getting like, I'm actually getting like notifications, you see? So no notifications from the thing. Tell you, if I get a notification, I will jump off this thing and I will be like, okay, bye. But so far I haven't gotten any. What's this decoy voice? Watch later. Maybe it's only giving me notifications of that which is on the thing. No, I would have a notification from that because it would tell me something at least. All right, I'm gonna make a big like leg muscle right here for her because the predators have this big thick leg muscles, right? I'm gonna just make a big calf from all the jumping that they do because they're so powerful. All right, so here it goes. I'm gonna make a big old calf muscle right there, super huge like this. Boom. All right, it's gonna be like big like that, right? Cover that sucker up. Look at that leg. Look at that leg. Big calf. Yep. Oh, my body. My body. Folks. And would anybody fault me if I just said, like, I'm just done? I just want to go home and just be home and try and figure something else out. Would anybody fault me for that? I mean, like, I do a lot of stuff, but I mean, like, from where I'm sitting, I'm not getting anything. So, honestly, it's just at the point where I'm like, I can't complain because I'm doing what I can, but I can complain because it's not what it should be, and I don't know. Don't know what to do at this point. Just say, God help me. And maybe I just need to just kind of unplug and just sit and process for a little bit and deal with my own life for a little while. Sometimes that's probably the best thing to do, is kind of go deal with your own life. Go spend time just kind of praying and ask God for wisdom what to do and see not to waste any time, Give it that big kneecap. So you have the big muscles, you got the big leg muscles there. See that? Big, thick leg muscles. All right? Then you have, I'm going to give her some more of the hips. I'm almost out of tape. See, I'm almost running out of tape. I got another, 18 minutes till it's 2 hours. Wow. Wow. Do you see this? This is really cool. I mean, like, just one of those things where it's like how long and how faithful I am waiting for this thing. It's just... Well, you know what? I gotta say, well, just talking about stuff. Let me just it's 9 o'clock now. I'm gonna go just turn off the car, turn off the radio thing because I don't want to waste out all my battery power. Because this battery, I just got a new battery the other day because it's one of those things where I'm gonna give her a big old booty. Let's do that. Make her booty bigger because why not? So anyway, so what happens is like maybe it only gives me notifications for YouTube videos. Maybe it doesn't give me any other notifications. Like, I mean, if somebody was to call me right now, would I even know? Would it let me even know about that? It just gives me those kind of notifications. Maybe I should just check the settings and see what that's about. Alright, maybe that's the case. Maybe I actually had orders and I just missed it. That's something there too. I don't even know. Okay, so anyway, so there's that. And then there's that. And then there's that. Two halves. So folks, I have been here since 1:40. Wow, an hour and 43 minutes. Another 17 minutes and I'll be at 2 hours. And here's what I have so far. This is the predator I have so far. Right, it's the lady predator, as you can see. It got hands. It's got the mandibles and got the face. Got the body. It's working on like just pretty much just making this a little bit bigger. And so here's what happens there. Alright, just make it a little bit bigger and right there. Yep. Okay, I'm almost down to my last bit of my masking tape. I want to thank you all for watching. I'm almost completely done as much as I can do with the time that I have been given. And I'm just gonna pretty much what I'll do after this. I'm just gonna like consider the cost of what it's like to no longer do DoorDash. Just be like, okay, I realize that maybe I'm priced out of the market, or I'm still out of the market. I might have to go someplace further out, and it's hit or miss. That's more miss than hit. More miss than actually hitting. So I thought I'd probably do something here with the YouTube, and that was cool. At one point, I had like a lot of people watching. I had like 75 people watching. It was the most I've ever had people watching my video at one time, which was really cool. And I was like so glad for that. So I want to again thank you all for watching and watching my art. So I'm gonna add some more details to her. I'm probably gonna go home and just paint her with all the other stuff I need to get painted. But it's sad. I mean, you go out early, it doesn't matter. You go out late, it doesn't matter. New York has become a wasteland. So, time I take my family out of here. Time we do something different, What's the arms? Did I make your arms bigger? I didn't make your arms bigger, I just said. Okay, I gotta make your arm bigger before I run out of tape. Okay, right there. I gotta just a little forearm, bigger forearms. Girl, you're looking good. Look at you. Look at that. Look at that. Do you see this? Do you see how good she looks? Do you see this? Do you see how good she looks? Yeah. So all she needs is the other parts, the parts like the armament and things. And yeah. So my friends, I think I'm only getting like notifications from. I'm only getting notifications from the thing. No, I'm getting all the other ones too. This is weird, huh? Maybe that is keeping my stuff from being seen. I don't know. So okay, so here's this one. Okay, I'm almost done with this. Let me go ahead and just finish her up real quick because I'm almost out of tape. And when you get out of tape, the party is over. What you gonna do when the party's over? What you gonna do when your friends are gone? What you gonna do when the party's over? What you gonna do? What you gonna do when your friends are gone? Let's see, so there's that. Okay, so here's this 1 hour 47 minutes. I'm gonna go to a 2 hour mark and I will quit. Okay, at 2 hours we're gonna be done with this. 2 hours we're gonna say enough, and we're gonna call it a night for both things. I mean, there's no point in just hanging out there and waiting and turning into stone or freezing to death in this car. I'm gonna go in and just ask God for wisdom. There's nothing at this point. So I've already got to 9 o'clock part, and there isn't anything. I have it till like 11, but it's another hour. But I've done 2 hours, just kind of almost 2 hours sitting in this car. So okay, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? Oh, that helps me. Man, she's kind of big. All right, let's see. I want to say thick, but okay. So, yeah. So what happens is that there she goes. Imagine that. I was just masking tape a second ago. Now it's like masking tape looking like a person all like big and. All right. Oh my goodness, I'm running out of tape. Okay, here it goes. Down to the last bit of it. Got the obliques and different parts right here. So I have a little meat right there. Meat right there in the back. Like ladies have that little thing in the back, their backbone, and it's like the dip in the back that goes from here, right here all the way back here to there, right, and then from here to. I remember this guy was making this, what do you call this, balloon animal stuff. I've seen these guys do balloon animals, and balloon animals I can do them too, by the way. But I just shy from it because I don't like the whole explosion aspect of it. But one thing I found out about is like I could do it, right? So what I'm saying is that this guy, he was making the most complex balloon animal ever, right? And what happened was like he was a person and it popped, and I was like, I felt so sorry for him. I was like, dude, that was always in the back of my mind. It's like, you make something that doesn't last. But I mean, that's people. I was talking to a couple people too. They said that one thing I like about the fact that art can be fragile and can be delicate, and it's supposed to be appreciated in the moment. And I'm like, I don't like that because I feel like it shouldn't just be for the moment. You should have it for a long time. Something about preserving a memory is by being reminded of it. Daily. That's why I think we read our Bible every day and you pray every day and you ask God for wisdom every day because you're reminded that who's in control is the Lord Most High. Not, we're not in control of our circumstance. We can try to be, but there's things outside of our control. A lot of things outside of our control. Okay, and so for the most part, though, you can be faithful and do what you're supposed to do. Doesn't mean you're gonna get anything. It just means that you're faithful. You prove to yourself your faithfulness. I gotta add some toast to her, but I got like 10 more minutes, and then I'm good to go. And I only have a little bit more tape left. So, do I have any more tape? I think I have some more tape, but I'm gonna pretty much showcase you some of the art that we have. But just to show you how relatively quickly I'm able to make a very complex character for you to see, for you to peruse, right? For you to see that I can actually do this because, again, this is one of those that it's a cool thing to make, and it's really cool when you make something really nice and beautiful. And I mean, she's really beautiful, actually. A really beautiful predator lady. You see this? Yep. It's got those muscles and arms and elbows, right? It's like, whoa. So, so yeah. So there's that. What would you do about saying I'm a chick? I am your ears and I'm gonna sing you something. I will try not to sing out of key. Oh, baby, now have a little help from my friends. Have a little help from my friends. I used to watch that show. That show was great. Wonder Years. That Wonder Years show was so good. I mean, I kid you not. When I watched it, I learned so much about life. I learned about the whole Winnie Cooper thing, and I learned that Winnie Cooper is just like, she was a weird person, She was a weird person. But then Kevin Arnold. Yep, look, I'm about to run out of tape here, people. Look, kind of to the end of it. All right, so with the last bit of tape, what can I do? This is what I'm gonna do. I got like 10 minutes, 9 more minutes, and I'm about to run out of tape. And I don't know, just see how it goes. This is really nice. I mean, like, just look at how nice she is. See this? You see this? Oh, goodness. All right, I'm just gonna make it like just in the front, more like the female part right there, right in the front. Just kind of like make it distinct. Run out of tape. Oh goodness. Yep. So there you have it. My point being that you can actually make anything in masking tape. You just gotta be able to figure out what you want to do with it. And I just held it up and I did it for you, so you guys can see. Alright, so you have that. Oh, goodness. Yeah, that's... Was it? I don't know. I keep hearing beeps. On my phone. I'm not sure what it is. Okay, so it's like... Let me see if there's anything. Is there anything? How to make a dragon final step. Ooh, very good. She's a really cool lady, by the way. Her art is amazing. She does a lot of the paper mache stuff, which is great. Me personally, I do masking tape. That's my thing. That's my forte. That's my cup of tea, my bread. All right, so almost there. A couple more rotations on this one. I got like 7 more minutes. That's actually just to show me how long can I endure. But I remember one time I had this thing happen, and I was telling my wife this the other day, that sometimes it's not good to wait and be patient. Sometimes it's just go out and get something. And that's kind of the thing. Sometimes you just can't leave it up to chance. You can't just leave it up to the situation. You have to seriously go out there and you have to make a difference. You have to go out there and make a change. Because if you don't, then what will happen is that somebody else will. They'll come and take your cookies from you. All right? That's the thing. They'll come and take your cookies. Because if you don't do it, they'll take your ability to make a decision. My sister told me that too. He says, you have to be able to make a decision about stuff. Sometimes you have to go and do stuff because people, they mean well, but they will disrespect and they will not be there for you like you really could be or should be because they're thinking about like how they're gonna make themselves better, make their lives better, and they're thinking about their wife and their children. I remember when I was working at the department store, at the hardware store, they were saying about like how the guy was saying that at the end of the day, he and his family will eat, is what he said. The manager said this to us when we were having the thing. He says that if it's gonna be one of those things between you and him, it's gonna be he's gonna win. He's gonna make sure his family wins at the end of the day. And I was like, I understand what he's saying. I felt like, dude, man, but he made sense. He said that I'm not here working to make you happy or making your life better. You're here to make my life better. And I was like, dude, capitalism. So for the most part, though, he just said that, and when he said that, it made me really think, like, you know what? I got to really take it into account that people like me and they like what I do, but they're not gonna mess up their family for my own sake. Okay, they will do what's good for them and for their family, and that's a given because even though we're all related and we're all like part of the human race and stuff, there's an aspect where it's like if you don't do what's right for your family, you will be considered a bad man. You know, you don't want to be a bad man. You want to be a good man. You want to be a good man who provides for his house. You want to be a good man who takes care of his kids. Good man who protects his woman. And there's the song, the guy Dax has been talking about those things where guys don't get a chance to, like, cry, because nobody expects a guy to cry. If you're a man, you don't cry. You don't go through these things. You don't go through, things that cost like, stresses and stuff like that. You can't quite do that. You have to make sure that you can take care and be the firefighter who goes into the fire and gets everybody out. You can't be the person who kind of crumbles out. There was we started watching this show, and this guy, I can't give good credit to you because I don't know how it's going to turn out or how it's going to be good or bad. So my wife and I started watching it today because just we had a really rough day yesterday, but we just said let's go ahead and just kind of detox for a second before I go out and do DoorDash as much as I can. And here am I. But we watched the show, and the show was different. It was a different kind of show about a person who's trying to get through tough scenarios and tough situations. Anyway, so here we have it. I've made a predator female, a yautja female, and she's as good as I can make it at this point without like having my paints with me. But this is what I can do. This is the art I can make right here, and I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I have like 3 more minutes. I'm just pretty much gonna wrap it up. Let's just stop because at this point the car is already cold. The car had been sitting for an hour and a half, so it's cold again. Pretty much, it doesn't pay to start it all up again. And I only have like one more like rotation of tape left, so I have to be very, very specific as to what I would like to do here. And she doesn't have any hair, which is on top of her head, which I gotta add to it, and little spikes and quills and things, because her quills are kind of like they're like more like fingernails and stuff. They have blood that run through them, so they're not like just hair. They're actually like part of her like limbs, I guess. So anyway, that's it for that. Ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to thank you. I'm gonna just make sure it gets to the 2-hour mark, and then I'm gonna call it quits. Right? So just bear with me for just a few more minutes, and I'm all out of tape, as you can see. So, and the light went out. Yeah, light went out again. So 1 hour, 58 minutes, 13 seconds at this time. All right, so let's go ahead and just kind of do some fine tuning. All right, there's that. I'm gonna give her cool outfits and stuff like that. So next time you see her, she's gonna be all like, if you ever see her again, she's gonna be all decked out and buff and stuff. I fix the leg part right there. The leg part right there. Yep. So there you have a female yautja. Female yautja from Yautja Prime. All right, so I got 1 more minute, and I'm gonna end it. So in the meantime, I just want to say thank you so much for watching my show tonight. I tried to do DoorDash for 2 hours tonight, and I got no orders. And just sitting here looking pretty, not really looking pretty, I decided to go ahead and make a yautja female who is like really cool looking. She's really, really nifty, and she's got all the movable parts that can move. She got her face and stuff like that, and you got the The bottom jaw and the top jaw can collapse. You can see that. So when I make her mask, it's gonna be cool. I'll make a mask around it. Yep. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Please book me for birthday parties, and also book me for just if you want to do some sculpting parties. I'm trying to put together some kind of a class where adults can just come in and just sculpt and just make stuff, and we just talk. Cause I like that. I like actually just talking to the adults. It's really fun. Adults need more time just so they could sit down and relax and make art. Cause it's One Life Must Art. Please follow me on Instagram. Instagram One Life Must Art. You can also follow me on Linktree. I'm gonna put a Linktree link, or you can see a Linktree link above in the channel description. Linktree links and stuff like that too. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching my show, for watching my program tonight, and being able to see me make this from just by watching. Right. So 2 hours and yautja prime. This is a female predator made in masking tape. Alrighty. Have a good day. God bless you. Bye bye.